This is Safia Yokoyama. She's a professional competition climber from Switzerland who competes at the highest level, internationally on the World Cup circuit. On my recent visit to Switzerland, I got to meet and climb with Safia, where I tried to keep up with her on the tension board too. At the end of the session, I also show her a few jamming techniques just in case any cracks turn up in her next competitions. Welcome to the channel. Haven't had you on before.
No, first time. I'm excited.
It's the first time we met.
Yeah.
We met like 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be good. I'm really psyched. The thing which is really nice about the board, it's just kind of like a plug and go. So you can select the grade that you want. It's just got thousands of problems in the database. And then you can just go bang, I want a 7A. It's up there, and there's loads of 7As. We should really go for the popular ones, I think. And I
like
guess
benchmark.
the benchmarks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're usually the soft ones, aren't they?
Or the most cool moves, I would say. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting also height-wise, because everything seemed a bit closer, but every hold was like perfect.
How tall are you?
157.
That's good for pulling, like short levers.
And I have long arms. I have like plus 11.
If you're a gym owner, manager, setter, or a home wall owner, and you're looking to upgrade your hold set and give your customers the pleasure of climbing on a tension board, then click the link in the description and you'll be in for a chance to win 50% off a tension board too. If you're a customer wanting to see this at your local gym, I reckon you want to pass it on to the setters so you have the best chance of winning. I will definitely be passing it on as well to my local climbing gyms, just because I know after having done this session, it would be such a good training tool for me to have this locally.
What does level 4 mean?
Level 4, V4.
Oh, V.
Yeah, climbing grades.
I'm so used to like 6B.
Oh, 6B. Yeah, sorry. When you climb with somebody at a high level in their aspect of the sport, you really pick up on a few different things. Like, I definitely noticed a whole bunch of really simple but useful things from climbing with Safia, and I'll take you guys through those throughout the video. The first thing I actually noticed straight away when I put the video together was our climbing speeds. Pretty much on every boulder, Safia climbs quicker than me. Okay, so next level in Safia's levels is level 6. And that is font 7A in your language.
Okay, perfect.
Level 6 in my language.
Wait.
I don't know why it's my language. Like, my language should be like font grades as well. For the speed of climbing, I think this comes down to our background. Obviously mine is trad and Safia is the competitions. You know, on the steeper stuff, being quicker generally is going to be more beneficial. You have less time on the holds, which means you have more in reserve for moves higher on the board. What we should remember is that the speed of climbing isn't always about climbing quickly to save energy. It's all about pacing, which is learning to understand when to climb quickly and when to move slowly on different terrains. I think pacing is massive in climbing and something that a lot of climbers, myself included, can really work on. These wooden holds are, they're like...
almost like no-tex holds in.
Yeah, like no-tex,
Qualies in Salt Lake, we had it on our slab boulder. And I just remember talking to my teammate, he's like, yeah, there's a no-tex hold in warm-up, so maybe be careful, there might be in qualies. I'm like, they won't use no-tex in qualies, are you crazy? And then I come out to my last boulder, I'm like, oh.
No. Did you often get things that are potentially in the comp, like in the warm-up zone?
Yeah, so
okay.
like,
so
sometimes
if there's a crack, then...
Yeah, you could potentially be like, oh man.
Okay, do you like cracks?
Yeah, I was gonna say cracks are my least favorite.
But
that I don't like them, it's just that I can't climb them, so it has to be.
Yeah. I've seen a crack already in the gym, so maybe right at the end of the video we'll do a little
training.
Yeah, a little bit of training.
Comp preparation.
One thing which I thought was really nice about climbing on this board was the texture variety in the holds. You know, smooth wood versus textured. Wood is obviously great for skin and you can train on it even when the skin is bad, but sometimes in the more subtle shapes and slopers, you actually need the texture to be able to work certain moves and hit certain positions.
It's going to be interesting to see because I've never climbed on this, so I don't know like how hard I can get to on this board. Okay, that was 7A plus, now
on to 7B. Within the app, You can essentially connect this tension board to any board around the world, and then you can go in, you can select your problem, you can go boulders or routes, establish ones, open projects, you can select the minimum difficulty and the maximum difficulty. I'm not sure we'll be getting on any 8C plus boulders today. Although we might not be trying 8C plus boulders today, the reason I'm in Switzerland is because of this. For the last 2 days, I've actually been beating myself up on Barefoot Charles's new 9A crack boulder. I got a pretty unique look into one of the hardest cracks in the world. Can you even jam the crack? What are the holds like? And how difficult did I actually find it? Make sure to subscribe to the channel for that video.
Your hands on the crimp are so big.
Yeah, I do have
I have really skinny hands compared to Clammy's, but...
You're quite big hands though, like long fingers maybe. Are they thin in this direction?
Yeah, both like this.
Yeah, because this is good for crack climbing. So like if you have thin fingers in this direction...
I was born to crack
Yeah, what you want is, you want them really wide this way.
Okay.
And really thin this way.
Okay.
I was really impressed with Safia's climbing tension, essentially being able to hold really stretched out positions from fingertips to toes. Of course, this is a lot down to strength, core stability, and the connection between the hands and feet. However, I do think good footwork does have a massive role to play in this. It's often easier to see a climber with good footwork when they climb slab, for example. But what gets missed loads of the time is how well the top climbers are using their toes on steep terrain. It's way more difficult to see, but the technique and skill they use through their feet is at just a higher level as those climbing slabs. It's just different. On the slab you're using edging, smearing, faith in rubber, but on the board you're using grabbing, pulling and pushing techniques to keep your toes on. It looked really stretched out, but you had the tension. I guess as common climbers you do a lot of...
I worked on it a lot this winter, so I'm very happy you said that.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Oh, awesome, cool. What's your preferred style, would you say?
I'm more of like a physical climber, I would say. So everything, more like, body tension, power. But with comps, you have to come to love coordination in slabs. So with a lot of training on that, I enjoy it quite a lot.
I do, I would say, a reasonable amount of training on a board, but that's because I'm not very good at board climbing and my weakness is kind of like power and strength and these kind of things. So I'm really interested to see where I can get to on this board. I think this is all going to be in the first 2 moves. Big move, foot over hand, big move. I automatically put a heel on it. Well, I put a toe and then I was like, no, don't like toes, I'll put a heel on. But I'm not sure if that's allowed on board climbing. Honestly, I thought it was brilliant on this board that the hold selection really offered those options to actually use all these different techniques. You know, there were holds that were big enough or shaped in a way so that heel hooks, toe hooks could all be used. Anyone who's watched this channel long enough will know that I love heel hooks, so it was definitely a bit of a blessing for me.
I was gonna match the crimp and then pull, but I mean, can I do that? If I'm not changing hands, can I match a bow?
If you're not touching the hold.
Yeah, I'm just
touching the skin. Yeah, from looking at the boulder, you would have thought that you would have matched on the big sloper.
But here it says no match.
Let's see if we can even get to it.
Yeah. Having the foot over your hand, it's
hard
so
to take
much
it
harder
out.
to.
I need to put my foot up. So we've gone for another 7B plus.
Or if you can trust like the other
low
thing
one.
and then just kind
and
of
then just
jump.
hop.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that instead.
because you seem very squished
I was really,
in that box.
and I was like, I should have put my knee on the inside or the outside. Yeah. Good.
High feet, and you just need to. I just love this. Love this. Come on. Come on. Yes.
Actually, the really nice thing about this tension board and tension board 2 is that it's mirrored. This 7B plus boulder problem, didn't quite manage it on the left, but what I can do is I can mirror it and then I can try it on the right. So, and that's also really good for if you want to try different, like working different sides of the body. So you do the moves in one direction and maybe it has like a shouldery move with the left hand and you want to work that on the right side of the body. You want to keep the same problem basically. It's really easy. You can just switch over, mirror it, and then you have that same move on the right. So that's what I'm going to do with this problem now, and then yeah, see if I can do it on the right hand side. That was surprising. Just kept my foot low and then just popped. That was much better. Guess we move on to a 7C.
If you want to kind of like feel the hold, you can kind of feel the hold through the brush. Like when you're brushing, you're like, okay, it goes a bit in. Okay, that's not too bad.
Getting all these comp techers for my comp journey.
I would imagine even the people who've watched the channel a long time probably won't know that I did actually used to compete in the junior categories both nationally and internationally, although I stopped when I was around 14 or 15 as I got way into my trad climbing.
That was, yeah, it's really close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that right hold isn't
It's not good.
the brush slide.
Yeah.
It's quite funny looking back, as I remember a lot of the times in the international competitions, I felt the reason I didn't perform the way I wanted to was because of the nerves. But then when I quit comps, I ended up pursuing trad climbs, which had really bad consequences. But I was able to control my fear well within this genre of climbing. Although in both situations you have to deal with the nerves, I actually think they're really quite different. I always think maybe I should have just skipped some clips in the comp to give me a little bit of the trad focus and fear, and I might have actually done better.
Yeah, for shoulder moves, I think it's really important to try to get like as much onto the hold as possible. Especially for like a crossover move, so then you don't have as much movement. You're already like here and you just need to...
I think this problem demonstrates the variety on the board quite nicely actually. The first half with the textured holds, and then the top half of the problem using the wooden edges.
But to move from that is also really hard because that black foot is not good either.
Plus low down there was actually this long pinch hold which offered another beta option of using the heel.
It could be something, yeah. I mean, give it a go.
Like I said, this was my first session using this board, and honestly, I really liked it. The main thing for me coming away from the session was, one, I really wish I had it locally.
Big first move.
And two, I just really loved the variety. It essentially felt like a blend of multiple boards in one. So yeah, like I mentioned before, get filling out that form if you want to see one at your local gym.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, that top's not too bad. It is all in that first, second, third move.
It was strange this one move, the heel method felt possible, but then when you actually got into the position, it all felt quite bunched. But then the pure shoulder move with lower feet felt really powerful.
That's hard.
This one is Knights of Sidonia, 7C, level 9, and it's no matching apparently.
But the cross does look a bit crazy. because it's an undercling, but a high undercling with low feet, and then you gotta cross higher.
Good, come on.
No!
That rope there is so not good.
At the
Yeah, so I like bumped.
second last one.
Maybe you could actually cross over to the last notice and do what I did. Yep. And then maybe foot high again and cross. Yeah.
I think that's the way, isn't it?
I really think of like the reason to move fast is to move faster than the speed you're falling at.
Okay.
So if you move faster than the speed you're falling at and you grab the next hold, which isn't too bad, you can like fall but catch yourself.
Yeah. If you
So-
have the contact strength.
Yeah. But if you're like trying to lock off, you don't have really the time to move and then you're already falling. But if you just like move faster than gravity, then
That's very good. Come on. Really good. Really good. Nicely done.
but that crossover move is not easy either.
Good effort. Nice one.
I squeezed hard.
Leshti beshti.
Leshti
That's
beshti.
what we're doing then. Not sure if it will be, but give it a go.
Come on, Pete.
I finished on the tension boards, but as soon as I came into the gym, I did see a crack. So what would a Wide Boyz video be without a crack? We'll do a quick lesson, just in case anything like this comes up on the
in
comp
one go,
circuit.
yeah. And I'm ready. I'm ready for a boxing match.
I always say there is always an option, unless you have like really big fingers and you can't fit your fingers in there.
Yep.
There is always an option to do a jam. One person's jam might be better than another person's jam.
Yep.
And it kind of changes across the sizes. You make your hand as thin as possible to start with, so like this, and then put it in.
Yeah.
And then you're doing a thumb into the center of the palm.
Yeah.
And I always say like this towards the little finger, but then also like pushing down.
Down.
So you want to like try and make this solid. This is the important part.
Yeah, and that's a muscle I don't have because it starts cramping.
Yeah, so this
Like,
is the
you're
crack climbing
squeezing it
muscle.
so hard,
Yeah.
and it starts to cramp. I'm like, okay, never mind.
And then it's just supporting with the fingers.
I just feel like the muscle, like my thumb, doesn't do much. I just can't keep it strong.
Feet.
Feet, yeah, that's one thing that I just can't get.
Before we put it in there, so that's in this direction rather than this direction. You can actually drop the heel.
Uh-huh. It looks so effortless.
Yeah, hand all the way in, hand all the way in. Yeah. Nice.
That was good. Really good. That felt
was proper
better.
jamming.
Yeah. Yeah, the crack high rope was a bit smaller, so the hand just felt really good. But like the twisting, I don't feel it completely.
Crack climbing.
It was a bit stressful, like the beginning. But also like when you turn your foot, it's just such a weird, something you're not used to. So I was like, this isn't gonna hold. But then once you're like in with the hands, it feels much more comfortable and better. Well, there you have it.
Yep.
My first ever crack climb.
Right, folks. Sophia, thanks very much for joining on the channel. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Best of luck with your European Championships and the rest of your World Cup series. You
Yeah.
crush it. Also, for you guys, remember that there is the offer on the tension board. So if you are interested, check out all the information in the description of the video. Sophia also has a YouTube channel and makes videos on YouTube. So I'll link that below. Definitely go and check it out. And finally, the reason that I was traveling through Switzerland was to try a 9A crack boulder. Either subscribe for the video or check it out here.